City University of Hong Kong is an international university which emphasizes the integration of research and teaching. The university promotes diversified, cross-cultural studies through various educational programs. To promote our educational vision, City University of Hong Kong produced a series called Beyond Boundaries, Dialogue with Presidents of World's Leading Educational Institutions. Professor Wei Guo, President of City University of Hong Kong, talks to presidents of universities and principals of high schools around the world, exploring each other's strengths and looking forward to the future direction of educational development. It is one of the youngest public universities in France. Its ambition is to have an impact on society, both now and in the future. In a short span of 10 years since its founding in 2012, it jumped to first in the 2022 Times Higher Education Best Young Universities, 26th in the 2023 QS World University Rankings, and 47th in the 2023 Times Higher Education World University Rankings, the highest among all universities in France. This university is called Université PSL. Despite its short history as a joint comprehensive university, it has several old and renowned schools in France among its 11 members. These institutions have produced 28 Nobel Prize winners and 11 Fields medalists when tallied together. Its members are all Grande École schools, as defined by the French Ministry of Education. All of them are higher education institutions that admit students through selective entrance examinations to ensure quality education. They are small in scale, highly professional, and concentrated on the incorporation of teaching and practice. Among them, the École Normale Supérieure PSL de Paris is the oldest higher normal school in the world and one of the most prestigious tertiary institutions in France. In its history of more than 200 years since its establishment in 1794, it has produced countless outstanding teachers for France. Dauphine PSL is one of Europe's leading academic and research institutions in the organization and decision sciences. Created in 1968, it joined Université PSL in 2010. Dauphine PSL offers a wide range of undergraduate, graduate, postdoctoral, and executive education programs. Another unique member of PSL is the Observatoire de Paris PSL. Founded in 1667, the Observatoire has made remarkable achievements in physics and astrophysics during its 355-year history. It offers research-based teaching from the undergraduate to the doctoral level, with 4 postgraduate programs and about 100 doctoral students. Mines Paris PSL, École Nationale Supérieure de Chimie de Paris PSL, ESPCI Paris PSL, all Grande École schools are strong in science and engineering and well recognized as leading institutions in scientific research and collaboration with the industry. Today, we are honored to invite Professor Alain Fuchs, President of Université Paris Sciences et Lettres, to present this unique leading university and its vision for the future development. Professor Wei Kuo, President of City University of Hong Kong, is well known for his research on the reliability of electronic systems and nuclear energy. In his early years, he worked at Bell Laboratories in the United States, who held the position of department head and dean of the School of Engineering in an American university, and was conferred academicians in various countries. Professor Wei Kuo has served as the president of City U for more than 10 years. His philosophy of education is summarized in the lyrics of the City U anthem, which he wrote, "Learn and question beyond boundaries." Professor Wei Kuo has also published several books about education. He is particularly concerned about the challenges facing contemporary education around the world.
各位朋友，大家好。今天我很高兴跟大家介绍一所世界第一流的大学 PSL 和它的校长 President Alain Fuchs。PSL 是 Paris Sciences et Lettres 的简称，由11所专业大学所组成的一个综合性大学。President Fuchs, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing fine.
I understand the university has been coming from what you call elite university to excellent university.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about elite and excellent university.
Yes, of course. It all, as you've just said, Professor Kuo, the different, what we call schools, different institutions that were brought together to merge into a single university. These different schools, like École Normale Supérieure, where we are right now, were really much sought after in France. I don't like to use very much elite because we're no more elite. Elite in France usually meant for a long time dedicated to educating the bourgeoisie, you know. While when we talk about diversity, the translation was do something for the poor people. Our motto is excellence and diversity. We do a lot of work on inclusion, diversity, etc., to attract the most brilliant students wherever they come from. And this is something that is, it takes a lot of energy, but for instance, our new undergrad education in PSL, which is for the whole PSL University, we have about 40% of young people. They are very good, and they all have state scholarships to help them doing their university education. So we are very much dedicated to excellence in the sense that we want our students to know a lot, you know. PSL is a multidisciplinary, rather comprehensive university because of the fact that we brought together institutions that were sometimes specialized into one of the different fields. So by bringing them together, we built a comprehensive university. So we want our students, wherever they come from, to work hard and to have a lot of very good, up-to-date knowledge that they obtain. They're educated closer as closer as possible to research, to the research that is being performed in the labs. This is one point. And the consequence of that is we want to bring them tools to have an impact on society.
The Université PSL is a comprehensive university that was created by merging 11 small specialized colleges. The merger not only brought synergistic advantages, but also enhanced international reputation as well as competitiveness. The university strives to excel at outstanding performance and to serve the public as a whole.
I know quite a few other universities, and it's interesting that many universities want to be elite, okay? But you bring up a new idea, a new concept. Elite is just not enough. You want to also add social responsibility, apparently. And even under such a paradigm, I find the university is so great in almost every dimension. Just for example, in terms of ranking, which is part of some attribute people look at it, but this PSL ranking is quite amazing. It's ranked the top 50s by all kinds of measures. I think there are probably 2,000 universities fall into the category. And out of the 2,000, PSL as a public institution, I mean, that's something really amazing. So will you share some more light about the social responsibility, both individually and collectively?
We're absolutely proud and happy to be in these different rankings. We didn't do all that for the rankings, of course.
No, of course not.
But it happens like that. Of course, it is important. People say, well, no, the rankings can be discussed. It's true that they can be discussed. On the other hand, we are very much interested by these rankings because it provides a sort of passport for our students. Because PSL is a recent trademark, so to say. So it's a very young university. So PSL may not be known everywhere in the world. This is absolutely normal. On the other hand, all our degrees are PSL degrees. It's true for the PhD degrees, it's true for the master's degrees and the undergraduate degrees. PSL degrees, which are organized by each of the different schools. So a PhD degree, the paper will say PSL, PhD, prepared at École Normale Supérieure, for instance. So what is interesting is that when this is when a student puts this introduce it into his CV, then people may ask, well, you have a PhD, it's interesting, you work with someone who's well known, but what is PSL? And the answer the students can answer, look at the rankings, you know.
Right, of course.
So I'm taking these rankings as a passport for our
Yes.
students for their professional life. Now, about social responsibility. There are two sides, at least two sides. One is to attract very good students wherever they come from. There are a lot of differences in the high school education in France, but it turns out that high school education in the different parts of France, for instance in Paris suburbs or in the outskirts of big cities, there are rather good high schools, but in these, at the level of baccalaureate, which is before entering university, you can have very, very good students. Usually the teachers are extremely good because they're really dedicated to push them all up to the best of their possibilities. But there is still, and we're fighting hard to get this straight. There is a sort of gap, which is a cultural gap, which is a sort of family mindset gap, because bright, interested students at the level of baccalaureate, when they come from a family where, for instance, no one ever did any kind of higher education studies, where they come from a family where sometimes some of the members of family speak hardly French because they come from abroad, or etc. So you see what I mean. So we're trying hard to attract those kind of good students, to tell them, with the help of the teachers that they have, to help them moving a little bit. We have some funding for this. And we do have some funding from the state to do this, and to tell them that university in the broad sense is open to them. You know, yes, you can do it. Yeah.
Well, let's look at American way. Americans have been successful. They attract talents from everybody else. But France seem to do that too. And PSL attracts students and faculty globally, and also they contribute to the society in France. And will you share some of your faculty coming from and students? How you do it to make these attractive ones?
You know, compared to very prestigious universities, we're not as prestigious as these for the time being. Of course, we're not that old, we're not private, and we're not that rich. But compared to Princeton, to even MIT, for instance. So I was in contact with the University of Chicago, which is a very good university.
Not big.
And I was amazed that they didn't have much more than 25,000
Agree.
students.
I personally think the university doesn't have to be huge.
No, it doesn't have to be huge. Yeah.
Small is beautiful.
Yes, not too small, because
sure. You need a critical mass.
We need a critical mass, but I think we in the range, almost in an ideal range. So attracting people, staff and students from everywhere in the world is something that is not, easy. We're doing our best, and of course the EPSL growing reputation helps a lot, certainly. On the other hand, a certain number of our staff, young staff, people want to move, want to leave. I think it's a good point, actually. We want ideas and minds to circulate around the world. So instead of brain drain, I'm always telling those guys who say, I have a proposal from a prestigious university somewhere. I say, well, do it, okay? Hope you'll come back sometime. Hope you'll come back sometime. We cannot offer as much. I mean, we don't need to go at the level of competition that a private university can have in the US or everywhere else. But we're doing our best. We're doing our best. We can find some money to provide some extra salaries, for instance, because if you're a professor in our institution, you're a state civil servant, so your salary is fixed. No negotiation possible. So we encourage a lot our young staff, young and less young, to compete with the European Research Council ERC grants. Since they are very good, I mean, we do have the name of the game is that these different schools were very much attractive in the context of France because the students are excellent. We select the students, and then it attracts the best researchers. That's the name of the game. And at the end, we are high in the rankings because of that. So when we select young staff, assistant professors, and things like that, we encourage them to apply to ERC, to apply to European funding, and since they're quite good actually, they're at a level above the average, they can obtain, not easily, but we fight a lot and we help them obtaining some more funds. So it's certainly one of the big issues. We're doing okay, we could do better.
今天我们跟世界一流的大学 PSL 的校长President Fox 做很有趣的讨论。这所大学是这么优秀，我们现在的很多不管是教学、研究、学习，都不一定要局限在某一个范围之内。所以 multidisciplinary research, multidisciplinary learning, it must be an element of our higher education at this current juncture. 我们受益良多，让我再次感谢 President Fox for enlightening many different views for us to follow. 谢谢大家的收看。
In the episode of next week, Professor Wei Guo, president of City University of Hong Kong, will conduct an online interview with Alexander Cherevko, rector of Cherkasky National University in Ukraine. Since February 2022, Ukraine has been ravaged by war and a serious humanitarian crisis. Even in the midst of the plight, Cherkasky National University continues to teach. All courses are taught remotely. The university insists on continuing its operations and providing education to Ukrainians.